Hey, how it's going, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you a way to kind of detect hallucinations in GenAI systems. Nowadays we are working with large language models, right? And LLM has a tendency of hallucinations, right? Where they make mistakes, where they generate outputs that seems correct, but they are factually not correct. And this is one of the biggest problem that LLM inherent, right? It's really inherent in the way they have been trained, because they have been trained on massive amount of data, and data might have you know good quality, bad quality, and so on and so forth, right? So I'm going to show you a library called UQLM. Okay, that is based on uncertainty quantification for language models. So they have, it's a Python library for LLMs, hallucination detection, using the best of the techniques, because it's all quantification, all quantifiable, right? The matrices that when we talk about it, it's all driven by statistics, and that's what we're going to do in this video. So if you look at here on my screen, I am on UQLM GitHub repository. Very intuitive the way they have created 4 different sets of scorer. They create some scorer algorithms for you to kind of utilize it. It's an open source library. Really, I've been exploring these tools to basically build better systems in enterprise, because when you go to enterprises, they hardly care about what model or what frameworks you are using. They rather care about what kind of systems you are building, whether it's compliance, how does the governance looks like from data to models, and so on and so forth. So mainly the ops part of it. All of these things that you see fall down under the ops part of it. So if you look at here on the hallucination detection module by UQLM, it says it's a suite of response level scorers for quantifying the uncertainty of language models. Okay, and they have black box scorers, they have white box scorers, they have LLM as a judge. LLM as a judge is a very famous technique lately, because well, I'm not a big fan of LLM as a judge, because then you are using an LLM, of course, with a better capabilities to kind of evaluate other LLMs, which might be a good thing, but which at the end of the day, it boils down to the same thing, that they're all language models. Then we have ensemble scorers, which I'm a big fan of, at least in terms of UQLM. It combines various scores. So it combines all of these scores, black box, white box, LLM as a judge, and create an weighted sum of it, right? That's what it does. And you can see the compatibility, the cost, blah blah blah. Okay, so compatibility, when it works, what kind of things it works, and so on and so forth. So they have these. If you look at these image, right, it says what is the capital of France, and the LLM takes that question, right, and it's generate original responses, can generate 3, 4, 5, n number of questions. So the same question that you ask to a model, it might generate different kind of answers. In terms of sentences, how does it looks like? Maybe some short answers, some longer answers with different words, and so on and so forth. Now they call it candidate responses. You can see original response is there, then it's candidate response, like Paris, it's Paris, Rome, blah blah blah, and then some kind of pairwise similarities have been calculated, and it gives you a score. That's what it does, right? So very simple. Now I have created this UQLM notes that I will of course share this link, so you can go through it, that how to detect hallucinations, a complete notes. Before I was preparing for this video, so I created this note. Now I have built this hallucination detector tool using UQLM. Okay, and we have some things going over here. Let's see that. In the left hand side, we have configuration, so you can configure models. It's not only Gemini. I have Gemini's because it gives us free credits to work with. You can bring Grok model, you can bring OpenAI models, and so on and so forth. We have temperature over here. So temperature basically helps you determine what kind of randomness you want in your output, like how creative an answer can be, right? An LLM can be when they are answering something. So this is temperature value. 0 is the lowest, 1 is the highest. It's a float value that you probably consider. Hallucination detection method. As I said, UQLM provides 4 different types of hallucination detection method: black box scorer, white box scorer, LLM as a judge, and ensemble scorer. And then we have these scorer types, which are really intuitive: semantic, negative entropy. This is based on pairwise distance calculation. So we have Jacquard, we have Levenstein, we have cosine, we have tons of others. right? The way we kind of find out the vector distances, right? And then we have number of response you want from your output. Okay, now this is how the configuration looks like, which is in the left hand side, and here we have a bit of information about this as an accordion. This is a Streamlit expander that you see. We have some presets. So I already have created a few presets for you. So let's say you don't have time, as most of people don't have time nowadays to learn or upskill themselves. They want quick success, which is not possible. But let's say you want to kind of quickly try it out. So we have created some presets or defaults, factual query, opinion query, fictional, and you can also put custom. Let's say I click factual query, it automatically fills the prompt for me. And when you click on generate and score, it's going to generate it's going to generate it's going to calculate the response, calculate the hallucination scores for that particular answer, right? So if you look at here, it says what it's using. So it's using semantic negative entropy for black box scoring. Pretty self-explanatory, guys. When it says semantic, it means that it's going to find out some pairwise distances, right? Or pairwise similarity, right? That's what it says. And then negative entropy, which is like finding out the value of an entropy, which is positive, negative. There's going to be threshold values that you can set manually based on some kind of rules that you want to bring in. Now it's based on that particular technique, semantic negentropy, and it gives you results. Now if you look at the results here, it has an LLM response that says the capital of France is Paris, which is a correct answer, right? Now in the confidence scores, we have this chart coming over here, which starts from 0 to 1. And you can see in this case, it says average confidence score 1. The response is likely factual, right? So it gives you that output here. The capital of France is Paris. And it gives you some sample responses because we have 4 responses over here. And you can see the 4 responses over here. And it gives you a semantic negentropy value. Higher the value, less hallucination. Okay. And this is not the only metric. I already have created a video 2 years back when I started my YouTube channel. When ChatGPT was on the rise, we had a video that talks about 2 different matrices. One is perplexity score, not the company perplexity, but the perplexity score. It's a probability value for an LLM when they generate a token, the next token in the sequence. That's the perplexity score. And then we have burstiness, similar stuff, but more of a holistic view. So we have burstiness score, perplexity score. Combine it, make a tool that basically tells you if a text is AI generated or not. That's how the tools like Turnitin and other tools have been claiming. But here we have that, and I'll give that video link in description. Have a look at that video. So we give so raw data, and then we have about something about UQLM because we have to give credits to the creators, the open source library that really helps you build. Here I have some tips for demonstrating hallucination detection, that how should we detect the hallucination in that. How do we build this is a question, so I'm going to show you. But before that, I will recommend you that you go through this UQLM notes that I created on my Notion. You can see a very detailed, simple note. If you look at here, it says it's possible to reduce the possibility of hallucinations to a certain extent by using grounding techniques such as RAG. I don't think it is possible to eliminate them 100%, which is absolutely correct. See, anybody who comes to you and say that, hey, I will help you, eliminate 100% hallucination, which is not possible. It cannot be possible. See, bias, hallucinations, these kind of terminologies, when we talk about AI and machine learning field, it's very, very difficult to kind of eliminate them 100%. You can definitely mitigate those values or those risks because as a human, we are also biased. It's inherent in our thoughts. You can't do anything, to be honest. But hallucinations, using grounding techniques such as RAG or graphs and etc., we can, of course, reduce that. But nowadays, when you're talking about agents, because they connect with open internet, you are using some tools, it fetches some or crawls some websites. It might be where it's not picking up the right resources, right URLs, and it's generating the hallucinated answer for you. So in such scenario, it's very important to have some kind of guardrails and stuff that basically helps you find out the hallucination level. Now, UQLM, you can see we already talked about it, consistency based. So black box scorer is consistency based. Appears to access uncertainty by measuring the consistency of multiple answers generated from the same prompt, are compatible with any LLM, are intuitive to use, blah, blah, blah. White box scorers are token probability based. They use token probabilities to estimate the uncertainty level, and they are a bit faster when you compare to black box scorer, and of course a bit more affordable but it requires access to LLM's internal probabilities value. It works really good with open source model, guys, because in open source model you can really go deep into the model parameters and so on and so forth to really visualize the attention values and see what kind of tokens it's generating, or it has been generating. LLM as a judge is very simple. It's like you just based off the LLMs, you can see the judges over here and find out different answers and see which is very common in nature, right? So do it in that way. Ensemble kind of merges it everything, and then it does it. You can see the comparison of the four methods over here. And then I have a bit of codes that I have been used. I'll go to my Streamlit application that I have shown you here, right? And you can try it out white box, you can try it out LLM as a judge, ensemble, everything. And this will be available on my GitHub repository. You can find out this tool and you can go through it. But let me show you, how we build this tool here. And of course, I use a bit of vibe coding to kind of make it a bit better in design way. You can see there are a few stuffs going on. So this is Windsurf. We have been using Windsurf and Cursor, and I encourage you to use Windsurf and Cursor. That will make you faster, efficient at your workplace. But don't completely rely on them. They make stupid mistakes. They generate codes which are really vulnerable when it comes to cyber threats. So keep that in mind, right? And you can see I was talking about perplexity value, which is over here. So what we have been doing here, you can see I have a project folder called hallucination. In the hallucination folder, I have a virtual environment that I created using UV. UV is a dependency manager that have been got famous lately, a comparison to pip or poetry. So I'm using UV. So I use UV VNV to create a virtual environment, and then I have a requirements txt. You can see the requirements txt to kind of install a few things over here. I get installed, and then I have an env file where I have my Gemini API key, and then I have a Streamlit app.py. In Streamlit app.py, you can see I have a very well commented code, hallucination detector using UQLM library. We talk about, we export our, sorry, excuse me, we import our key here, Gemini API key. We set the page config. It will always be on the top of your Streamlit application. These are nothing but these are some of the fancy stuff that you see here. There's a search icon or something, and then we have these icons and stuff. This is what it does. Hallucination detection. We have some custom CSS, that I generated using Windsurf completely. I asked it to create some fancy stuff on that app. Some markdowns coming up, some titles, sidebar title. If you remove sidebar, title will become your center layout, okay, of the page. We are having these models that supports 2.0 flash. You can also bring 2.5 now. Okay, setting up the temperature value as a config. We have a scorer method, what to select. We have method specific options that you see it over here. And then we are, just let me keep going here. We have some default models, so on and so forth for each, and some expander, some prompt for factual query. This is the prompt. For custom prompts, we don't have anything. We have to write it ourselves, and that's it. You can see we're just calling those models. You can see scorer method black box. Then we are using how to get the BB scorer BlackBoxUQ. This is the module that you see. You can see the class here. In the class, it takes an LLM, its head device, NLI model name. It's just open source model, guys. So when you're running it for the first time, it's going to download few model weights from Hugging Face, right? So UQLM library uses these open source models, natural language uh, uh, inference or interface, whatever. Okay, NLI. NLU, natural language understanding, natural language processing. Yeah, whatever. And white box scorer, the same thing goes white box UQ. You can see it over here. It says class for computing white box UQ confidence scores. This class offers two confidence scores, normalized probability, blah, 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 and minimum probability. And similarly goes with judge thingy that you see it over here. Judge is pretty similar. It is just the base of the models to kind of get the judge. You can see class for aggregating multiple instances of LLM judge using min, max, or majority voting. LLM itself vote which is the better output, and then it gives you an answer. And ensemble, you can see UQ ensemble, okay, that we have over here, pretty standard. And that's it, guys. We have some output thing stimulate, so I'm just not covering it. Now go back, and this is what it is. You can play around it. Let me know if it's able to help you in any capacity, if it's making sense also or not. You can tell us better in the comment box. There's a lot of other tools that you can use, like Discard, for example, or Phoenix, for example, Arizi, and a lot of tools, Pika, and so on and so forth, to find out some sort of hallucinations. Okay, but this is very interesting concept, UQLM, uncertainty quantification for language model, because this is a big problem, right? Hallucination detector for industries which are really regulated, like let's say finance, healthcare, banking sectors, insurance markets, and all this. You cannot give wrong responses to any such questions or queries that end users are asking. So in that cases, in those cases, it's very important to kind of use such hallucination detector tool. This will be available on my GitHub repository, guys. Yeah, if you want to use it, please use this. And maybe I can just put one more thing here, like give your own API keys probably, so make it a bit more modular. So we can do that definitely. Now, that's what I wanted to create, right? I wanted to show you about hallucination, which is a big topic. You should learn about it. You should find out different ways to solve hallucination problems, mitigate it, right? You cannot 100% eliminate, that's for sure. But that's all, for this video, guys. I hope you learned a new thing. And if this video was useful, hit the like icon. And if you have any question, thoughts, or feedbacks, please uh, let me know in the comment box. You can also reach out to me through my social media channels. Find those information on channel banner and channel about us. Please hit the like icon, subscribe the channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and share the video and channel with your friends and to peer. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.